Jokingly, it's a little bit more than that. But
Sometimes.
point being is I went into it thinking, well, I'm going to have all this time. And it's still to this day a grind.
It is.
It's an everyday grind, but I do have a quality of life, meaning I spend time, which the most important thing without trying to cry is my family. And I can go on, my daughter's traveling trips for softball and things. And I'm still giving the same amount of service at a softball field than I am sitting in my office.
Yep.
That's what I like. And I think there's an attraction to that to people. Oh, yeah. But they have to understand you still have to put in the work. It's not like you're just like, hey, I got
my license.
I got my license and I sent my, let everybody in my family know.
That's right. Well, and two is like I was in healthcare for 10
That's
years.
the whole, yeah.
And I never had a Christmas off.
Right.
And I made a Christmas day off, but I wouldn't have Christmas Eve or vice versa. Well, my mom I was in Rochester. She lived up in Northwest Minnesota. That's a 7.5 hour drive. So I'm not going to go home for one day.
Before we get any further, welcome to the third episode of The Unscripted Agent. We're just kind of going into it, but this is David Nelson. I want everybody to meet David Nelson. And The Unscripted Agent is put together by me and my fellow friends and referral partners to really cut through some of the online fluff and everything that you've seen, which we're going to talk about a little bit. But I think towards the end of this, you'll get what I'm saying is that the authenticity of a person doesn't necessarily show up online. Okay.
What?
Now, right. I know. Shocker. Right. But point being is if you start backwards and know that you understand that everybody looks online, we get 100% of people start their home searches and their mortgage searches even online. And if you're not getting in touch with those people, you're missing out. But what we like to do at the Unscripted Unscripted Agent, well, that might be tough.
I'm 98% Norwegian. I don't know.
Last name is Vang, but it's Norwegian as well. So
I know.
But what we try to do is combine those two so you understand that they're online, like David's online. We'll get into a little bit of AI, some of the things that he brings to the table as well. But the authenticity of the person, then social media. Not social media, then you got to go check the authenticity of the person. So that's really what the Unscripted Agent is about. So welcome
Thank you.
The show. Happy to have you.
My pleasure.
I don't know if we call it a show since it's really just a YouTube channel. What do we call it?
Program?
Program?
Like a soap opera?
Soap opera.
It's like, my program.
Hey, we do this. It's kind of fun. But what we're going to do is cut through all the bullshit and that'll get beeped because we're just straight up talking real estate, mortgage, but really a couple things about how you as a customer can really look at the background of the person that's actually on social media versus social media, then having to go and look at the person themselves, because that's really where you start, but the authenticity of that person is really what's important. So again, thank you.
My
now,
pleasure.
We're going to get back to, which I don't understand, gin martinis. Anyone else? So go ahead. You're going. So we went. You did the one which you had. What was the gin you had?
Aviation.
Never heard of it. But
Ryan Reynolds owns it.
Ryan Reynolds. Oh, Deadpool. There we go. That's the not Boost Mobile.
Yeah. No, Mint.
Mint Mobile.
Yeah, he bought them.
Kind of going with a theme, isn't he? Mint, gin.
He likes the
greenish
floral.
kind of stuff.
Likes the floral. Yeah. He's going to buy John Deere next.
I hope people aren't like, who's Ryan Reynolds? I had to think about it for a second.
Oh my God.
I just went to Blake Lively.
That's his lady friend.
Sorry. Okay, so you prefer, which I can't understand. So I'm a Grey Goose kind of.
My wife's Grey Goose too.
So she's a Grey Goose martini, and you're a gin martini.
Yes. I will drink vodka.
So help me understand that, because my question was like juniper, olives, the whole thing, but you do Tanqueray.
Yep.
And then dry vermouth.
Yes.
Like dirty olives, regular olives.
Is there any such thing as a clean olive? I think they're all dirty.
Yes.
Yes.
Gross.
I sanitize them and then I put them in.
We clean them quick.
Yeah, filtered.
Yeah.
No, so I mean, juniper goes really well with olive juice, but you can't put too much in there. It's just it's more like a splash.
Okay, so you can't like have a dirty gin martini.
Some people like it, but those are the people that
a little weird.
Yeah,
a little cockeyed.
Yeah. Their mom and dad, brother and sister.
Dropped them on their head.
Weird story. I was dropped to my head.
Oh, there we go. I knew it. I can connect anyway.
Yeah, my brother dropped me on my head.
Perfect.
As a baby.
Yeah.
I guess my head swelled up.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's a little longer than.
No, it's my big brain.
Oh, that's your brain.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
No,
okay.
I mean, I have a little like a travel mister. Mm-hmm. So I put vermouth in there and I missed the glass.
Okay.
Put ice in it because I bartended for 7 years.
I like that one better.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're at 9 Mile Brewery in Bloomington.
Bloomington.
Shout out to them. I've never been here.
Yeah.
You said it's the only brewery in Bloomington?
Only brewery in Bloomington as of now.
How do you say that 5 times real fast? Brewery in Bloomington. Brewery Bloomington.
And it's our favorite. We love your bring the dogs here.
Dogs here? Yep. All right, well, check it out. 9 Mile Brewing.
You should.
Bloomington.
Shout out.
We paid for the beers, so we're not getting paid. Bullshit.
I tried. I was
did?
like, we're doing a podcast. She's just like, oh.
It's cute.
Double. Cute. Double price.
That'll be $20.
It's like, oh,
We're giving you an appropriate place to do your show.
That's right, the dumpster.
So, anyways, you'd bring a mister.
Yep. Ice
Just a glass a little bit. Yeah, ice glass.
Missed it. Ice the glass. I like mine shaken.
Yeah.
A typical martini is stirred.
Yeah.
Anything with a citrus should always be shaken.
Okay.
But there's no citrus in this, of course. So but I shake it. Olive is
juniper's isn't that a little citrusy,
no, but it's gin. Gin's not citrus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If you put a juice in there.
Yeah, no, we don't want juice in our martini.
No. So then shake it, strain it.
It's not some fruity show.
No, it's like Mai Tais.
Right.
Although they are pretty good.
Those are pretty good.
I know. A lot of rum.
Psycho Susie's?
They're closed. They've been closed for a long time. They're for sale.
That's what happens when you're 52 and don't hang out down around there
I'm
anymore.
50 and
don't hang around there either.
No, never did.
So you do that and you shake it and then mist it and then that's it, right? A couple olives, not olive juice or a touch of olive juice?
Olive juice in the strainer, in the mixer.
Okay.
Shake it up.
Okay, shaking together.
Strain it. We go to Aldi. Plug it to Aldi. Get the blue cheese stuffed olives.
I want some money for this shit.
Blue cheese stuffed olives.
Okay, yes, they're great.
Yep.
Okay, that's great.
And
I gotta have those.
We were in Boston and we had martinis there, and they came out with little metal skewers with their olives.
Yeah.
So I encouraged my wife to put them in her purse. So we have these little metal skewers.
Yeah.
So now we put them in. You get 3 olives on there. That's legit.
Encouraged.
Yeah.
Encouraged.
Nicole Nelson, she's a thief.
Both married to Nicole's, by the way, and I didn't realize that till just now. But
yeah.
All right, so let's go with a little bit of your background because you and I met many years ago. We've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Not that we've worked together a long time, but been friends for a long time, which is fine, right? We've always been friends. But
Are you bitter?
No, not me. Fucking asshole.
Okay.
What a dick.
Take a dicks.
What a dickhead. Rochester, not from originally, but worked there. And that's how, you were with Remax Advantage Plus, and that's where we met, right? Originally.
Yep.
Originally in Rochester, you were an occupational therapist.
At
OT.
Mayo.
Yeah.
OT
Okay,
at Mayo.
Right. And I think I was basically a professional student and played football and a bartender. So Shenanigans, I don't know if that's still around. Is that still around?
No, we used to go to Rookies.
Rookies was a big one.
And
that was out by the
Smiley
mall,
Moose.
kind of. That's just east of the mall.
Yeah.
Smiley Moose. Yeah. No bueno.
Not anymore.
There.
No,
Yeah.
but they were the first one to go smoke free in Rochester.
Okay. Smiley Moose was?
Yep, we liked it.
Right on. Yeah, Shenanigans is where I work. But that's how we met. Then all of a sudden, I don't know, it's like just in Remax, and then you're like, hey, Rochester this, Rochester that, and then we've been friends ever since. So
yeah, and I think we get along too because the fact of it is we're like no bullshit people, and we kind of know our industry is very filled with egos and
can't wait.
Yeah.
What's it filled with, David?
Egos. But the fact is we just kind of connected because it's like, what you see here is who we are.
It's what you
on
get.
social media. Right. Here we are.
If
you meet, and nothing's worse than meeting somebody that you look up to.
Right.
Not say people look up to us because if they did, it'd be questionable.
Well, they might because they're shorter. That'd be about
That's
the only
true.
reason.
I am 6'3".
I was 6'2". I think I'm about 6'1" now. Gravity sucks.
Well, you took your heels off.
I mean,
your stilettos.
I knew I should have brought the stilettos.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Then bring out your calves.
God dang it.
Man, the calves popping.
Look at that.
So yeah, no, I mean, but we just connected, and I just think too is, it's a good friendship because there's a lot of people in both industries, mortgage and real estate, that are very superficial.
Yeah, and I think when you come back to it, let's just look at that. That was back then. We both probably went through 4, 5, 6 years of superficialness. Is that a word? You know what I mean? Of you're kind of guiding through and seeing where you want your business to go. You want to grow a team, grow and doing the things that you do, and you feel like you let go. And correct me if I'm wrong. And I did the same thing. You kind of feel like you let go of your roots. Like this is how I do business. This is how and you kind of see everybody around you getting back to what everybody's doing on social, and they're building their teams and all that thing. And you're like, that's what I want to do. And you're like, nobody listens. Nobody does. Here, you can be like, here. You want to get in real estate? Here, I'm going to teach you how to do it. Or in my case, we'll partner with people and go, here, real estate agent, I'm going to give you transactions. And they still go, huh?
Right.
And it's just a work ethic and things just are not there when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So then you regroup and you come back and you're like, okay, well, I know that team thing isn't for me, right?
Yep.
So would you agree that you kind of did that for a span of time?
10 years.
A decade?
Yeah, I was a team leader for 10 years, and I was actually ice fishing when my old broker said, hey, I put somebody on your team. I didn't know I had a team. So that's how I started growing a team.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how it was. And from that, for 10 years, but it goes back to my occupational therapy days. I like helping people.
Yeah.
I love helping
and that's
people.
one of the greatest things I think that connected is because I'm, you know me as well, you know now, I'm more consumer directed portion of my good amount of my business go.
Yeah.
I grab the eyeballs online first because I want to help those people, but I want to associate them with people that understand that they also want to help people, not just do a transaction.
Yep.
In a world that's transaction based these days.
Oh my God.
Transaction after transaction after transaction. Like, hey, smile at the closing table, but it was a shitty transaction.
Yeah, hold this sign.
Yeah.
Because you're typically happy at closing, typically. Then after that, the agent's like,
I'm out.
I'll send you a wreath at Christmas.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And no, it's so different. And it's like, I love helping people. So when I formed a team, it's like, I want to help other agents get better.
I remember that. Yeah,
But
that's
then-
another reason.
But then as you realize it, as you're kind of going through, agents, and don't take this the wrong way, but a lot of agents...
Or take it the wrong way, we don't care.
Take it the way I'm giving it to you. Agents are very fickle. And sometimes their loyalty is to whomever gives them an extra dollar, gives them, we'll waive your fees for 3 months. Yeah. And I've always said, like, the typical real estate agent is very short-term thought process.
Yeah, transaction based.
Yep, they're like, hey, what's happening the next 30 days? I want to do this, this, and this. Whereas people like, and I'm not saying we're visionaries, but also at the same time, it's like, you want is like, what's coming on the pipeline?
Yeah.
And we're at our sunset years, but it's like.
We'll talk about that later, because I mean, in social media, it's like, what? And now but continue.
But I've always said there's two types of people in the industry. There's the thermometers that just react.
I like that. Yeah, I love the thermometer one.
So if the temperature is 30, they say it's 30. If the temperature is 40, they say it's 40. But guess what they can't do? They can't control the environment.
Right.
But then you get the thermostats, like, hey, it's 30 inside here.
Crank it down.
Yeah, we can control the temperature.
Yeah.
And sadly, so many agents, mortgage, anybody, they follow the thermostats, the thermometers, I mean.
Yeah.
And they put their strength in the thermometers, and they're like, no, they're just reactive. Find the people that control it.
Yep. So you bring up a really good point. We just actually had a meeting. We just had a meeting today before I even came over. Is that it doesn't? If you look at people that look at their business as a whole, as maybe an investment, they don't look at, hey, it's a hot refi market, I got to wait till the refi market kicks. They are always looking for better ways to serve their clientele, past, current, and future. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that is literally why most of these people do the volume that they do, because they're not sitting back going, well, it's 70, let's go.
Yep.
And then you know as well as I do, most of those people, they're like, oh, I sold 40 homes last year, and then all of a sudden they didn't sell anything. You're like, what happened?
Right.
Well, everybody's buying. It's not hard. When you fog in a mirror and you're buying something, that's not hard. That's not.
Everyone was good in 2020.
Yeah. Right. So then it's just constant, like, chasing that. What are you doing? Like, one of the biggest statistics that I've heard is like 87% of most business owners in real estate or mortgage don't know where their business comes from.
Sad, but true.
It is true. And I mean, even last year, 70% of all agents in the state of Minnesota didn't even sell one home. Yeah. So that is really why I want to talk about this, is because those 70% of those people, I don't even know, that's a big chunk of real estate agents that could be putting out all kinds of content, but there's no teeth to it.
Right.
So what we like to do here at the Unscripted Agent is start with the teeth, know the people, and then also you can put yourself out on social and go, representative of what I do and how I do business. Yeah. And that will gain you traction.
Because nothing deflates your ongoing referrals, your ongoing business, than misleading anybody.
Correct. And that's a constant.
Constant.
Like, even you can see multiple huge teams and no names, although we want to put names out there.
I'm like,
bite your tongue.
One more beer,
can't do
I'll
it.
be like vomiting.
6 beers.
Verbal diarrhea all
These
over the place.
motherfuckers. Anyways,
TBD.
next episode. Stay tuned.
After hours.
There's the hook right there. And we'll film that one at like 6. Anyways,
deck with bourbon and
but
cigars.
that's my point, is that they will take multiple sessions of people that would just come on board and be like, here, post this out like you just sold it, or hey, like you just listed it. And it's the same flipping house for all 60 agents.
Yes.
I'm like, that's just not conducive to that person. And then I might be missing something. You tell me if I'm wrong. But because I spend time on social media, even at my geriatric age, that I see the same house, the same agent listing the same house going, hey, new open. I'm like, I get if you're trying to help your team member do their supporting their, but you're doing it, you're putting your own picture on something. And then if somebody comes at open, then you're not even there.
I know. And the bigger picture is, first off, you're making yourself look like a fool. First off, if other people are seeing it, but guess who doesn't like that? The algorithm.
Yeah. Okay.
So Facebook's like, so we've got 30 people posting the exact same thing.
Yeah.
This is not original content.
Okay.
It'd be like if I go on Google and I verbatim copy your website.
Sure.
Google's gonna go, what the hell?
Yeah.
You're not gonna get any online tracking. So you have to have original content. And ChatGPT is fantastic, but the same point is you still have to personalize it. You still got to put your twist on it.
Yeah, you still have to tell Chat, if anybody doesn't know what ChatGPT is. tell our older viewers what ChatGPT is.
It's the future.
Them crazy fax machines and phone lines.
Stop printing your emails. The future is here.
It's here. Got it. So anyways, yes, ChatGPT, which is part of our our later segment, is I use it exclusively, but you still have to tell it what you want.
Yep.
You know,
only as good as the prompts.
I want a very warm reception text with emojis and specific to the point. Don't draw away from the point and bullet point it. Make it short, 300 characters or less.
Yep. Make it funny, make it humorous.
And that's the whole point. And then you take your personality and put it out there, and then it creates it for you.
Yeah. Because I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I do a lot of stuff. It's like,
shocking. What was the name of your?
The Imperial Home Team.
There it is.
I get an R2D2 watch
I didn't know. Can you get? Hey, camera guy, can we get a close up?
That's right. Check 1 2 1 2.
No, we can't.
No, it's static. Damn it.
So, is it? Do you still use the Imperial name? I can't remember.
No, I still own it. But all that stuff. But I don't really push it because I don't really run a team per se.
Sure.
But I do more of a collaboration with Jeff Fitzer.
Yeah. So Fitz. Shout out to Fitz.
The real side, we call it.
We'll send that to Fitz. Fitz Media.
Fitz. Yeah, he's awesome.
Him and I go way back before I even knew David. So, but you and I still have to make a trip out there.
That's the plan.
Maybe in the fall during football.
I got bourbon and cigars. We're gonna head out there.
You just gotta let me know before you go. You know, you have to really. You can use that, but you still have to put your personality in it. That's what I kind of like about it.
Yep.
Because otherwise, it just comes off as a robot, and people know me. Unfortunately, I have seven concussions that I know of. They're like, he would never write anything like that.
He can't
even say the. I mean, what the he the. Got it.
2-syllable words.
So, but as you taught me, like you have to put your passion, I guess, or how you would speak to somebody into it and tell them what to do. Make it funny, make it happy, make it whatever it is, and it's amazing. So.
And I'm not even joking. I'm on ChatGPT at least 2-3 times a day.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. I mean, I create websites, I do emails, I do whatever, Facebook posts, Instagram posts,
all that stuff.
And it learns. It's AI.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So the more you do it, the more it knows you.
They're coming.
Skynet 2025.
So you Remax. Then you still with the team, but you did EXP for a while, correct?
3 years.
3 years.
Yep.
And that was you still building the team at that?
I still had a team, and actually. Going into 2024, I said I'm going to stop running a team per se. Did more of a collaboration. Like I'll still help you and coach stuff, but I don't want to run. I don't want to be paying for your leads. I don't want to pay for your CRM. I don't want to be paying for all these things.
Because you're not doing anything with it. 70% of them aren't doing anything with it.
Oh, I push 90%.
You're doing 90%, and you could literally lay a purchase agreement from them like here.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. And the problem is too is like And as soon as they just determine that they want to leave, like they say, well, you didn't give me enough business. But at the same time is like all the things that we gave, like client appreciation events and CRMs and all these bomb
video. Do you mean none of that matters to them?
No.
That's weird.
It's because they're short-sighted and it's like, hey, we'll waive your fees.
Again.
Like, I'm to pay fees for 3 months.
Again. Yeah. That's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
You're in the wrong business if you got into the mortgage or real estate business thinking it'd be easier than your 8 to 5 job. It's a 24/7 job.
Yeah. Sadly.
If you want to make it if you want to make something out of it, that's exactly what it is.
Or use AI.
And we'll get to that.
That'll be a segue.
So you did that. You did the EXP, and they're like, you know what? F this. I'm gonna.
Things happen at the company level.
I'm very familiar. They were public, so everybody that knows that they were public. So it's not.
I like the EXP. I thought it was a great company. It's just things happen in leadership, and I don't.
Well, your personality doesn't allow you to stay under leadership like that.
Or my integrity.
Integrity. That's my whole point.
I don't change my integrity.
Well, that's the same thing. And it's like you're constantly being recruited in things by other companies.
Yeah.
Brokers or whoever it may be. And this company is led by Steve Jacobson is probably the most, prior to Gary Kurt when I was at Bell for 16 years, most authentic. I don't give a shit about anything other than the street. Street meaning you. Yeah. Well, let me back up. Street meaning our customers, right?
Oh yeah, it all comes on customers.
Customers first. It's like, and I'll share a little story. Recent changes in FHA and who they'll lend to and things like that. Well, we have 16 to 17. It's not a lot because we're a larger company nationwide. 16 to 17 million customers that were in that FHA area that they don't want to lend to anymore if you're in a certain date.
Yeah.
And Steve's like, we call him Jake. He's like, nope, not here.
Yeah.
I don't care what they said. You're already ready to purchase your house. We'll figure it out.
Right.
We're going to figure it out. That's the kind of leadership that you need to be behind because 100%. Everybody's like, oh, you don't make any money there and you don't do this and you don't do that. I'm like, you guys don't have any idea what culture means. I mean, you really don't. So it goes back to, I don't know much about now where you're at is real.
Correct.
They call it real broker, real agency, real estate.
Real brokerage LLC.
Okay.
It'll be 1 year in the April 1st.
Okay. And that goes back, and I would have presumed there's some integrity there, and that company has. And the reason I bring that up is because Noelle Nielsen is also a friend of mine. I wouldn't see her going to a company that doesn't have that.
Well, and she brought me. She told me what was happening at EXP.
Right.
She's like, "Hey, I want you one of my first people to come over with me." And I'm like, "Yeah," and been at Real now for almost a year. Yeah. The leadership is actually true leadership.
Yeah. See, that's what you need. I don't understand how everybody chases a dollar. And
I've been at brokerage.
What's left after the dollar?
Yeah.
Then you're chasing another dollar after that.
Because no one ever says, like on their deathbed, like, "Oh, thank God David helped me with that smooth transaction." Mm-hmm. It's like, "How did it make me feel?" It's like, "Oh, we stayed in touch, all the fun things we did, ice fishing, whatever." But like I've had brokerages that I thought were leaders, and as soon as you leave and you see true leadership, you're like, "No, it's a shit show." It's more of like they would tell you what leadership is, but they wouldn't show you.
Yeah.
And for someone to say, I'm not gonna show you, I'm not gonna force leadership on you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to lead by example.
That's exactly the only way that a leader can be who they are.
And Sharon, who's now on the board, was the president pretty much the whole time I was there, and the CEO, everybody from the head of the snake down.
Head of the snake down. That's exactly what you need. And it's a flat atmosphere.
Yeah.
Meaning you don't have to go, well, there's the CEO or owner, and by the way, you can talk to 4 levels down, but you're never going to get. Yeah. Right. I have Steve's cell phone number.
Yeah.
I could literally, we're recording with the phone, but I could text him right now and be like, "Hey, I got XYZ." Be like, "Done. What do we need to do?" Blah, blah, blah.
Same. I'm like Instagram friends with
7,000 employees.
Right.
What?
I've been at brokerages where the broker has no idea who you are until you say, "I'm ready to leave."
Yeah. Then they know.
Then they're your best friend.
Whoa. I'm like, let's go have a steak dinner.
You can't go there.
Calm down.
They're terrorists.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like Sharon, the president, former president, we're Instagram friends.
Yeah.
And we would message back and forth. We've never met in person.
Yeah.
But it was like, he was like, "Hey, keep up good work." And it was him. It's not an auto pin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool.
I don't know what that is.
An auto pin?
What's an auto pin, David?
See prior presidential party.
What's an auto pin?
Everything is fakely signed.
Yeah.
By whomever. So, but it was like, no, it was him. And I'm like, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And even at EXP, I have to say, Glenn, trying to blank on his name.
Perkins? Kidding.
Yeah,
it's not Glenn Perkins.
No, he lives in Lakeville, by the way. Sanford, Glenn Sanford.
Sure.
He was the founder of it.
Yeah.
He sent me a message one day, like Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And maybe it was auto, but I doubt it because, it means a lot. But then the other brokerages, they don't give a rat's ass who you are.
Frankly, it's one of those things statistically, if you can look, and yeah, I have automated stuff that says happy birthday and things like that. But guess what? You're getting that in your email, but you know what you're also getting from me, because it's on my calendar, is a text from me. Like
massage?
No. Not now.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. When I was building my business, a lot of massages.
After that lawsuit.
He touched me in the wrong spot.
That's right.
Gosh, going down
Happens
this. I'm going to edit that out for sure. But seriously, like, you're still getting a text from me.
Yeah.
You're not, and I get, bombarded with, thanks for thinking of me and all that stuff in my email.
Yeah.
I'm like, even in my reply, I'm like, appreciate it. It's an auto reply, but you got my text, right?
But the thing is too, though, we all know it's automated, but you went through the process to do it.
Yeah.
There's so many people don't even do that.
Agreed.
Because in their head, like, well, it's automated, it's not me. I'm like, okay, well, they'd rather get that than nothing.
Right.
And right now you're sending nothing.
Yeah.
I know too many agents that have their CRM as a spreadsheet.
Well, again, I've had plenty of that I've done business with over the years, and you can sit down and be like, hey, look, I sent you 14 transactions last year, basically about $72,000 worth of commissions. They're like, what? What, you did? I'm like, yeah, I track my analytics. Right. Know where my business comes from.
It's not that hard.
I know it's crazy.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you could go to chat and say, how do I track my business? It'll tell you in about 10 seconds.
Well, and the problem is too, and this is probably a little deviating, but people get in real estate because they want to control their own schedule, do their own thing.
Well, it goes back to what I told you. You want to be your own boss. You went from an 8 to 5. You went from selling shoes to all of a sudden you got a real estate license, or whatever it may be. By the way, I got in the business for the same reason. I was at a software company, and I'm like, I can't keep doing this. I wrote my own comp plan. They said, I can't pay you that. And I'm like, well, fine. And I got in it and ended up at Bell Mortgage, which is a great company, right? But it just turns out sometimes when you're trying to do things differently, you gotta take and look at somebody that has a leadership like Gary Kurt did, and attach yourself to somebody that is like that at a bigger scale.
Yep.
Right. But the whole thing is I couldn't figure, like, it was like, I can't keep doing this and building a company for somebody else. And then I got into it thinking, well, shit, I'm gonna have it was a quality of time. Like, I could take good amount of money, and do an 8 to 5, which ended up being like an 8 to 7.
Yeah, I know.
And you run the numbers, you're like, I'm making $12 an hour.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Jokingly, it's a little bit more than that. But
Sometimes.
The point being is I went into it thinking, well, I'm gonna have all this time, and it's still to this day a grind.
It is.
It's an everyday grind, but I do have a quality of life, meaning I spend time, which the most important thing without trying to cry is my family, and I can go on, my daughter's traveling trips for softball and things, and I'm still giving the same amount of service at a softball field than I am sitting in my office.
Yep.
That's what I like. And I think there's an attraction to that to people, but they have to understand you still have to put in the work. It's not like you're just like, hey, I got my license. I got my license, and I sent let everybody in my family know.
That's right. Well, and two is like I was in healthcare for 10 years.
That's the whole,
and I never had a Christmas off.
Right.
And I made a Christmas day off, but I wouldn't have Christmas Eve or vice versa. Well, my mom I was in Rochester. She lived up in Northwest Minnesota. That's a 7.5-hour drive. So I'm not going to go home for one day and come back.
Right.
So I never spent Christmas with my family.
Right.
So that was like, that's
bullshit.
Horrible.
Right.
Yeah. And then the whole healthcare field kind of pushed me out just because of the changes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's great, but then you still have to own your schedule. And nothing, I hate it when agents say I work 24/7, 365.
You don't.
You can't.
No, you don't.
You can't.
It's impossible.
And you shouldn't.
No.
Because I went through a divorce, and I think a lot of it is spent on, like, you go for dinner, phone rings, like, I got to answer. It's probably a Zillow call.
Holy shit, I got to fucking get a deal.
And then it's like a Zillow call, and you disrupt the whole evening to answer a call, and someone says, oh, I'm going to look at this property because my agent's out of town.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. But then guess who's pissed?
Yeah.
My ex-wife.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no. It's like nowadays, like I really focus on like being present. Like right here, someone calls me, great, go to voicemail. There's no emergencies per se in real estate.
There's not.
You know, and I was even in healthcare. No one says, oh my God, somebody needs this. I'm like, I'm a therapist. They can see him tomorrow.
So I like to caveat on that is that if you're doing the work ahead of time, and you got 12, 15, 5, 10, whatever number it is that makes you comfortable, you got deals coming in because of the work you already did, that call doesn't matter.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's when, you know, the reaction, they say, well, you got to answer and be there in 90 seconds or less. And I get that in some ways, shape, or form. But like when we do our lead gen and the things that we do to bring our agents business, it's scheduled on my calendar in an open format, meaning the system, Alex, who runs our system, knows that he can't schedule things that are like Gabby's softball game from 3 to 5.
Right. Yeah.
There's no call taken.
No, it's non-negotiable.
Right. So,
well, and my goal for 2025 was to own my schedule. So I created calendars like, hey, because I have agents that like, I want to meet with you for coffee. I want to meet with you over a Zoom call. And I would drop what I'm doing. So what happens is my momentum would stop. I hop on a call, help this person out, and then turns around, the person didn't do anything with it. But so now I'm like, okay, here's my calendar, book it. You'd be surprised how many people don't book the time. Because it actually involves an extra effort.
Actually, it's extra effort.
So like now with my calendar, like I actually own my calendar. Well, yeah, I mean, it's like I own my schedule. Like even today, someone reached out to me, hey, I'd love to grab coffee with you. I'm like, awesome. Here's my calendar.
Won't do it.
And then, no, she did.
Oh, good.
But it weeds out those that just want to grab kind of.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
And I'm not going to say names. We know some of them.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
That grab your time.
It's an extra step, then I won't do it.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. If you do any sort of lead gen, you have to have it one step. That's it. If you do more than one step, they're not going to do it. So if I say, hey, Aaron, you want to book time with me? Great. Here's my calendar.
Yeah.
I don't want to click that link.
It's so much work.
So much work because it actually syncs with David's Google Calendar.
We can't do that.
I'm like, no, it's fine.
You're right. And that's a great statement. Like weeding that time suck people out.
God, it's been great.
It's been fucking great.
It's been, and actually the people I'm meeting with are fantastic.
Yeah.
Because I'm weeding out the times where.
Because they're the ones that want to do it. And so there's the people that want to, there's people that want to, but it's work. We don't want to.
Well, and maybe Dave will buy me a coffee.
Yeah.
And it's like, awesome. And then all of a sudden I go, hey, how can I hold you accountable?
Oh,
just be my friend. You know?
Accountability.
Yeah, no.
What?
So then I watch like the things I've given people to do, like they don't follow up with it.
So that's again why I do the unscripted agent. You're literally hitting on every facet of why we do this, because the people have to know, and I'm talking about people in the marketplace, agents, loan officers, whoever it may be, need to know that is an important factor of their life. It's like you just can't go running willy-nilly and thinking that shit's gonna fall in your lap, because it doesn't.
No.
I tried it. Matter of fact, majority of my business, when I started the business, it was, I don't even want to say, it's 24 years ago, do the math, that every person in the world was refinancing. There was no work. There was no work. I would sit at my office, and I was a little broker in Bloomington, and I just have stacks of people to call because they needed to refinance. And I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. And then even investors back then would be like, hey, we're so busy. And I'm going to just say a large bank. I'm not going to name the bank. Literally, we were locking all our loans with them because they had the best rates and the lowest fees. And that's literally all really, service is really what I care about, helping somebody. Yeah. Whether their credit's bad or they literally, but again, goes back to that time suck. I'll help you get there, but I'm going to put it in front of you. And I'm going to show you how to fish. I'm not going to give you a fish. No. Because then you're never going to be able to do it the next time without somebody else helping you. So, and 10% maybe you'll do it, right? Oh, you're very generous. I know. I'm just saying. So, but getting back to that is, you can't, like, having that schedule and knowing that those are the people that literally will do what you say is invaluable. And I'm going to throw a shout out to my friend Rosie. Rosie O'Donnell? Oh wait, she moved. She's Ireland's problem now. No, Rosie, she wrote a book. I'm trying not to spit my beer out everywhere. It's pretty good. Horrible. She wrote a book called Moving, and she's like, "Hey, I want to sell my book."
can you help me? I'm like, yeah, because I do website development.
Yeah.
I built her a website with the whole sales page. Today, she called me and said, hey, I got my first sale off the website. She's like, it's kind of surreal. But Rosie's one of those that she'd go to my calendar, book time, and we would meet.
Yeah.
She'd show up early, she'd show up prepared, and we'd hammer things out.
Yeah.
I will pour in
all my
everything.
Yeah.
Even back when I was a therapist, I would tell my patients, like, I will work as hard as you do on your recovery, but never harder.
Yeah.
If I work harder than you do, you're frustrated. I'm frustrated.
And you're never going to get it done.
Never get it done.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of transactional things in the real estate and mortgage market. It's like, I'll do as much as I can for you, but I can't do it for you.
And then go back to even like running a team. Like I say, hey guys, I will do what I can.
That's exactly the point. Yeah.
But what happens is, like, I would typically they would give me 10%. I would give them 30.
Yeah.
And guess who's frustrated? Me.
You're
and they're frustrated because like, quit pushing me.
Well, I don't have any deals. What's going on?
Yeah. Leads suck.
Yeah. God.
So I mean, but again, like I'm at the stage of my career is like I want to be around people that want to move the needle. They're the thermostats.
Yeah.
Like, I don't,
correct.
The thermometers. I will the thermostats can follow me.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But I want to surround myself with thermostats.
Yeah.
I want those that are...
Yeah, turn it up.
Yeah.
How do I turn it up? How do I do these things? We get back to, well, maybe this is a good segue, because one of the things that I reached out to you for is not to do business or anything like that. It's because and I saw the AI stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And now, if I can find something in my business, so, I spent so many years at a bank, we'll call it a bank, at the time, where it was a suit, and you just basically called and said, hey, let's have coffee and tell everybody how great you were.
Yeah.
And how fast you could close things, and all.
You're the only ones that could do that.
You're the only. Well, back then it was kind of, that Probably was right. A long time ago. Back then it was easy. You're like picking, it was, because Bell Bank was like, it was it. But now everybody can do that.
Yeah.
Everybody can do a 5-7 day close, and speed is one of our core values. But and I'm not saying everybody can do it. Well, I'm just saying there's a lot of people that can do it.
It's more than not.
So that doesn't become a value anymore. So then I was like, well, I've got to, at 52 years old, because I'm not done yet. I want to keep going with the thing. Is I've got to incorporate things in my business that are selfishly was a time suck.
Yeah.
Meaning, I need to present a video or XYZ on X amount of things, and I'm like, I have no idea how to do that. And then that's when I reached out to you, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
And you're like, blah, blah, and I'm like, hold on.
Do I sound like that?
I think I heard the first part of that, and then we and then we kept chipping away.
Yep.
And now, which you can see that the things, and I don't have any problem being in front of a camera and talking, but the content was the biggest piece for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know realistically, in my business, people want to know what their payment is and how much they have to do at closing. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
And when it comes to interest rates, they want to tell the neighbor at the fire that they're drinking beers that they got an eighth less, whether it makes a difference or not.
Right. Even though they paid more.
And they paid more in fees to get it. So those are the things. But I'm like, there's more to it. There's more about who I am and who you are and the people that I sit on this show with that can take that. And like you said, you're like, it's good. You're doing the right things. And here's the things that you use. But you have to put yourself into it for it to work, right?
Well, if you look at social media, for example, we probably heard, 5 years ago, whatever, people, that was a novelty, kind of per se, like, oh yeah, social media, you're great. Everyone's on social media.
Yeah.
So now you see those that are posting just sold, just listed, I'm on vacation, I'm still working.
Yeah.
People don't care.
No.
And people want to know who are you?
They want to know who you are, right? And that goes back to, like we were talking in the beginning, there's all this blanket of, you'll have these huge teams and be like reposting somebody else's post like it's their listing and everything. Yeah. And people don't give a shit about that. They might care about the listing itself. Again, goes back to 100% of people start their stuff online. Yeah. They might click on that house, but like it has nothing to do with you.
Right. I've had people reach out to me because I do a lot of SEO stuff behind the scenes, and they're like, hey, we saw you in Google.
And SEO is what, David?
Search engine optimization.
Thank you.
Where they would look to find me on Google, and they're like, "Hey, I like your profile. I like what I talk about my wife, talk about my dogs, talk about my Star Wars.
You're talking about you, yeah.
Me.
That people can relate with you.
And if they don't like what I do, like I'm fine.
Then that's not who you don't want to work with anyway.
There's 3 million people in the Twin Cities.
Right.
There's no such thing as
legally.
Yeah. Well, 4. Thanks, Mayor Fry. Not my.
I love this show.
Not my mayor.
I love this show.
But so you look at it, I don't care. And I don't care if everyone works with me, and I don't care if I work with everyone.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, me too.
You know, and it's like you find your tribe, you find your niche, you find your people that support you, and then you rock it out.
So I do like to segue with that, but going back to who you are first, then social media next, because in what we do with our lead gen and things like that, is I'm getting to the consumer first. Mm-hmm. The trust is built because that's who I want to work with.
Right.
And then I go back to people like yourself and other relationships that I have and go, these are amazing people.
Yeah.
That work hard, that you can, now I like, if I handed it off and it came to you or somebody else and be like, that relationship is solid.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's backwards.
Oh, I know.
And I get it. And I think you have to be online. You have to catch the eyeballs because everybody's out there first. But you have to catch them with why you're out there. Yep. I'm here because listen, you matter to me, even though I've never met you. Yeah. Because just how I want to treat people.
Because like I was on TV back on Fox 9 some years ago, and Tom Butler was going to interview me about real estate. And I've been watching him for years. I'm like, man, please don't be a dick. Please don't be a dick. Please don't be a dick. So I looked up to him.
Yeah. Huge dick.
Awesome guy.
Oh, damn it.
No. He was great. I mean, he was like,
hoping.
No. Okay, fine. In this story, he was
dreams broken.
He punched me. He was an asshole. But no, he was a super nice guy. I'm like, awesome. His persona matched his person.
Yeah.
And I've lived that through it. Like, I don't care if people don't like Star Wars. But guess what?
I do.
Every day, someone sends me something, hey, I thought of you. Star Wars.
I'll never forget when
I aligned with that.
We originally started, because I'm not like uber fan like you are, but anybody says that I don't like Star Trek because of that, and I'm like,
Star Wars?
No, I know. No, I'm saying. No, I know. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like movie Ted.
Oh, yeah.
Like Star Trek. Oh. That's completely different. Anyways, I'm in Target, and I'm like, I don't know, is it maybe over Halloween? And there's a Darth Vader Max about Imperial this, and I'm like, light bulb.
Yeah.
And the light bulb was, you were Imperial home team back then. Yep. So everybody that knows you can go, wait a minute, that's David's real estate company. Well, and you think about that? I mean, it's just that's how your brain works, right?
And that's why I formed it, because I didn't want my name in it.
That's exactly my point. So like so it goes back, and it took me forever, because I was like, hey, that's cool, blah, blah, blah. I just thought of you because I saw Imperial.
You saw Regal
at that time, but now if I put more thought into it because of the stuff that I'm doing as well.
Yeah.
Is certain smells or certain tastes can bring you back to a memory from fucking ever ago. Yep. And that's what brings it up. You're like, how did I call him?
I can't tell them clients I've had over the years that they've been referred to me as like, hey, they're a big Star Wars fan. And guess what? On our showings, we shoot the shit. We have a great time.
Yeah. I think that's important. I mean, that is the loss of what I'm talking about. That's why I'm talking. That's why I have you do this, is because that becomes a lost art, because it's just transaction. Let me blanket out as much social bullshit as I can.
Yeah.
Try and grab one person that might think I know what I'm talking about. And then when you meet them, you're like, we have nothing in common.
Nothing in common.
But because I'm already in, and you've shown me 10 houses, I feel obligated if I can use you.
Well, and also too, there's a lot of people out there like, well, we know like the majority of people, as soon as you meet the first agent, you're going to sign with them.
Yeah, it's typical.
So, and it's like, yeah, whatever. But do your research.
You do have to do your research. That's, again, the whole topic of the show is you can see all that stuff out there. And this is why I do Unscripted Agent, because you get to the heart of who the actual agent is and then reverse it.
Yep.
You reverse it, you take your emotion and put it out on social media, who you are. For example, when we started the show, it was a gin martini, and you have that out on social. And people are like, I love those.
Yeah.
That guy would be cool. They don't know you, right. But if they were to reach out, you'd be like, yeah, we got a lot in common.
Well, if you follow me on social media, I do a lot of weird memes and stuff, that's me. I love having fun. Life is too short. And if you're offended by a Star Wars meme, that's your problem.
Well, the offense is on them. Not you didn't create it. Every offense is on the person taking it.
Yeah.
You offended me. That's your problem, not mine.
Yeah. So it's I've always been one of those, like, just be real, be who you are.
Yeah.
It'd be like if you're talking to some, like back in the dating years, like I met my wife on Match.
Yeah.
So if she's putting on this persona.
Current or previous?
Current. Previous was set up.
Sorry, had to throw it out there.
It's all good. Much happier now. So you go through so if she was like lying to me the whole time, and then we meet in person, you're like, this is not who you are. I mean, I've been catfished.
Catfished. Which, for people that don't know what catfishing is, again, fake profiles.
Then they get you, and they probably
look at
paid some money.
Look at the 50-year-old 52-year-old figuring that stuff out. You know, that's kinda funny. Maybe it's because I have younger daughters.
You get to be aware. There's some weird.
There's some weird shit out there.
So again, it says be who you are. And again, if someone doesn't like me because of my humor,
then why would you want to work with them in the first place?
And I'll even extend it. Like, we all have our beliefs in religion, politics, whatever. And
it formulates who you are, right?
Yeah. You know, and it's like, fine. Like I have some great people that don't believe in what I believe in.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it.
So as a key takeaway, again, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Really good insights. I mean, it's really good stuff, don't you think?
Fun.
I mean, it's really good stuff. If you were to say, if you had 3 things,
okay,
because of who you are and what you bring to the table, of someone that might need help, such as myself when it comes to social, right? Which I'm getting there. I'm not, you know, but I'm always learning.
You've actually gotten a lot better. Yeah, I've noticed.
And learning the things that go with it. And I'm comfortable with it. And I would say, one, you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, you know.
But eventually, you're not uncomfortable anymore.
No, you're not, because you're being yourself. And that's that's the whole reason of this show is that we're like, oh, you're going to drink and do that online? I'm like, yeah, that's who I am. That's what, you know, I'm a human being.
It's called Thursday.
Doing the Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah.
So
my gummy bears.
Oh, shit. There go your gummy bears. They dropped them off at the door. Shout out to FedEx.
Yeah. Sponsored by FedEx.
So we got FedEx, 9 Mile, your gal with the book.
Yeah, Rosie.
Was there another one in there? Anyways.
freeupagency.com.
So the 3 things.
Yeah.
Anyone that has watched this and be like, you know, I'm on a team and, you know, blah, blah, blah. What are the top 3 things that they could start doing that's going to save them time on a social media basis? Like, go to chat, you know, and things like that. What would you tell them? What are those top 3 things?
So, off the top.
And then when you're done with that, sorry.
Yeah. No.
When you're done with that, tell them how they can reach you so that if they need questions or can get that information. Facts. Yeah.
So for top of the head, you have to be original. When your broker says, hey, everyone posts this, and we've all seen this, like, everyone posts the same thing.
Yeah.
Don't. And maybe take that verbiage and put it into ChatGPT and modify in your own in your tone, because that tells Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, that this is original content. So you have to be original.
So that's important. Originality is important. Like, it is the number 1 factor. You have to be original.
Yep. Yeah. And otherwise, you're just plagiarism. You're
so
copywriting.
when I mean, if you could also take, for those that don't have ideas, such as myself, you can see ideas online, but you have to put your heart into it. Is that fair?
Yes.
Your original, like, that was dry, make it funnier, or, you know, hey, more direct, whatever it may be.
What we've seen is tons of videos that people are doing their own videos.
Yeah.
They go to a certain point.
Okay.
But also too, it's like virility isn't the whole thing of your video.
Right.
If you want to do a viral video, I got one that's 25 million views. Is it booming my real estate business? No. So you look at it, who are the people that are going to follow and engage and like with you? So put that content out. Be informative. People go on social media for 2 reasons: education, entertainment.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
So putting on a post I just sold, you're doing neither.
Well, you are doing one thing, which you're trying to do is, hey, look at me.
Hey, look at me.
And that's why this whole show is stop. Like, you can, like, they're going to really watch us, and I don't really care. Actually, I don't care. With the most emphatic way of not caring.
Yeah.
Is you can keep doing that.
I know.
You can. And
it's some white noise.
And people are like, oh, hey, they sold another one. If they looked at the picture, it's the same thing you did 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Or the same ones like, hey, I had $1 million month. The general public believes you made $1 million. But guess what? You didn't.
Hey, by the way, they might not work with you, but you're like, he just made a fucking $1 million last month. Why would I fucking work with that guy?
Yeah. And
he's got plenty of money.
But you're on a team that's taking 70%.
Yeah.
So you're making pennies. Yeah. So stop doing those posts. And,
yeah.
And again, too, it's like putting out content.
So authenticity,
educate / entertain.
Yeah.
And the last one is for social media is you really need this. This is a hard one for people. Post consistently.
Yeah. And okay,
you can't post enough. Honestly,
this is really where I'm at, and I kind of take lately daily things that might not. It's education. That's it. That's all it is.
Yep.
It's not entertainment. That takes something I just went through, and I just post it.
Yeah.
Fair enough, right? I mean, it's a really, like, I'll just sit in the car and be like, hey, by the way, I think it was the condo one. You probably saw that one.
I've seen them all.
Right. And it was like, well, I'm just going to put it out there. I don't know if anybody's going to see it, but it really is educational because they'll be like, oh, I'm FHA approved and I'll buy that one.
Yep.
Well, you can't.
Right.
And 90% of the loan officers and the mortgage companies will be like, all right, we got you going. And they're like, oh, it's the property's fault. No, you didn't do your job up front.
Well,
asshole.
Yeah. Dick. And you kind of said it too. It's like, right now, if somebody posts something right now, we're not looking at it.
Right.
And maybe this is the most amazing post in the world. We missed it.
Yeah.
So the fact is that if you're posting often,
this is a really good point.
You're really facilitating the algorithms to say that this person's active.
Okay.
If you're going through a certain company's certain semi-annual training, rhymes with bold, and you're like, hey, we're in a contest, we're doing this.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any traction because people
you hadn't done a previous post to it.
And Facebook, Google, every algorithm's like, who are you?
Right.
You know, done. So if you post often, but post relevant things and try not to
entertain or educate.
Yeah, and like, don't be all over the board. Like, okay, find things.
Yeah.
And if you want content, like I'm partnered with Jeff Fitzer.
Yep.
He has a daily
another shout out. That was the third one. Fitzer Media.
We have a daily content calendar.
Is it Fitzer or Fitz?
Fitzer.
Media. Fitzer Media.
Daily content calendar that every day there's new content with the captions and the whatever it is to put on there.
Yeah.
Then I put that captions into ChatGPT. I go rewrite it in my tone.
Yep, done. Because chat learns your tone.
It does.
Easily.
So you're posting, so I post that stuff, but then I'm also posting like what's funny, what's fun.
Right.
You know, I posted the thing about you and I did a video while you're on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
It's amazing what people find entertaining, but you never know when someone's on the internet.
Right.
I've posted things at
midnight. I like, here's a perfect example. You know, health and fitness is one of my things, and I'm like, you know, a cold plunge.
Mine too. Wink, wink. Zoinks.
He does know really good food and really good places to drink, by the way. So you got to, you know,
it's
open up a little bit. It's a good mix. But I posted that. And I'm like, oh, is that arrogant? Is that arrogant? I didn't want it to be arrogant. I was just like, you know what? I think if you do these things and you want to get there, this is one of the things that'll help you.
Yeah.
And so it was more of about, this really fucking sucks. I hate doing it.
Yeah.
But it's producing results.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of educating, being like, here's results. If you sit in this fucking cold ass water, it sucks the fat off your body, and I'm shit you not, it does it. It takes a while, and it fucking sucks. But it works.
And guess what? Some people are like, I'm not doing that. Fine.
Don't.
Some people want to go.
Getting back to that though, it's like not getting. I'm like, shit, I shouldn't have posted. There's no likes. All of a sudden, it was 24 hours later. I'm like,
yep. Because what happens is with the algorithms, sometimes it takes a couple of days.
Yeah.
So like this one with 25 million views, it got some views, and all of a sudden, it skyrocketed. And I was like, what's going on? And I'm like,
and there's no way to look back and why that happened, right? So you can't recreate it.
Okay. So sometimes your content that was put out before, but let's say you put that content out, but didn't post anything for a week.
Right.
It's not gonna get the attention.
Right.
It's just like, and I use the example, social media is like going to the gym. If you want to get big and strong,
this is really good.
Or lose weight,
message,
or eat healthy, whatever it is, you can't say I want to eat healthy on Monday
and not the
eat
rest
like
of the
shit
week.
6 days a week.
So that is so, I mean, that's an educational piece that just blows my mind right now, because that's great. That's perfect. Because if you're not doing it every fucking day, it ain't going to work.
No, it doesn't. And
people are like, oh, I don't have time for that. I'm like, you did 4 deals last year. You got fucking plenty of time to do it.
You go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Write a post. Because this post I got 25 million views. I was actually at the gym, sitting on a machine, taking my minute break.
Yeah.
Posted it. Took me 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So there's always time. And people, if you have no time in your day, first of all, get systems. Because systems will add time to your day.
And
AI. But second off, it's like, you got to prioritize. It's what are you choosing? Like, I'm choosing to sleep in. That's fine. But if you would have woke up 15 minutes early and did some of the social media stuff, you'd be good to go.
Yeah.
And Fitzer Media,
it's a lot. You owe me big time, dude.
Yeah. Good bourbon.
And by the way, we'll fly down to see you, but you're paying for everything else.
We should fly him up here sometime.
Fuck him.
I know.
He's got warmer weather.
Not in the summer. The Ozarks are beautiful, though.
I know. I mean, he's got.
And Jason Bateman's there, right?
He's right. Yeah, he's right on the fucking lake.
Yeah, he is. So I mean, but it's about posting consistently.
Yeah.
And but don't put out garbage. You know, people don't care.
So when you say garbage, give an example, because, like I said, what I did the other day about health and fitness.
That's good.
But I thought it was garbage.
You did, but guess who didn't?
I know,
Yeah.
but my point is, give an example of what's garbage. Hey, I'm picking my nose, or hey, I've just parked in the parking lot.
That would be garbage.
Yeah.
In our industry, garbage to me.
You're just staying away from, like, in general, like, just stay. You have to educate or entertain.
Yep.
And if you don't do one of those two things, don't post it.
Right. And if you do post it, expect the results.
Okay.
So
Don't be upset about it.
Don't be upset about it. And so, like, the garbage ones I hate, or again, I'm going to go back to, like, oh, I had $1 million month. You're really looking, you want to make yourself look good, but you're not adding any value. And and I challenge everyone to go back. Who liked and commented?
Yeah.
It's going to be people on your team, your brokerage, and
Well,
your
that's
family.
exactly right. And you're like, hey, great month. And we're like, who the fuck cares?
No one cares.
No one does.
Because, again, too, it's all about value. You know, why do people go to certain places? You know, if this place charged $100 a beer, it's good beer, but it's not a value.
Better find out
Yeah.
why. Yeah.
So it's all about value. So you should always, underperform, but overperform.
Or under promise, over perform.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
And so many people are the opposite way. They look good on social media, they look good on paper, but then when they show up, they're
Exactly
they're a
why
shit show.
episode 3 is absolutely so crucial, because you need to get back, even the people that are going to watch this, and you have to, if you see them on social, you got to go back to that person.
Yeah.
And the authenticity of that person. We're talking about being authentic and value-based, and then posting.
Yep.
So you can post your authenticity and your value base out there, and not just, hey, another $1 million month. Well, you actually only sold 4 houses. The actual team sold 7 of those, so you didn't have $1 million month.
No, but you're making yourself look good, and if it makes you feel great, that's on you. But you're not going to get.
You're not getting any return.
No.
Okay, so thank you for being a part of.
Cheers. This is great.
The Unscripted Agent. Now, if people would like help,
Yes, hope so.
how might they be able to reach you?
You can find me at www.meetdavidnelson.com. You can book time with me over Zoom. If you're locally, we'll do coffee, whatever it is. I mean, I'm here to help, because honestly, I think our industry needs it. And we have a lot of people that are floundering, and a lot of teams and brokerages that kind of get you in the door because they promises, but then they flounder. I've seen too many good agents fail in the industry because of the lack of support.
Yeah.
And if I can help somebody achieve that,
Right.
superficially, I feel good.
Well, and the other thing is, I've done it. David doesn't make me pay him anything. He has a heart of gold and just goes, here, try this, try that. And I've tried it, and it works. It does.
Nope.
The's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
And
Sharing is caring.
that's what I think is amazing. That's why I wanted to have you on. So one more time, the website is
Meet, MEET, not like meat. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a good Brazilian steakhouse. There's one in Bloomington.
one in Bloomington. We've already heard about it.
Polvino's.
Oh, fuck.
Another promo.
We got a lot of fucking ads going out
Welcome
right
to
now.
Bloomington, my friends. MeetDavidNelson.com.
Got it. So appreciate it, buddy.
Cheers. Thank you. Skål.